Today is July 31st, 2018, 462 days since Morgan has passed away. Uh, Yesterday, as I was stating, things that I've learned that I need to do in order to let go. Even though I haven't put those said things in motion because there's a pattern. I need to first do my writings, and then I need to do my fire ceremony, and then I need to do the forgiveness of the person that gave him the bag, that killed him. So there is a process I need to do, but there is joy within knowing the steps I need to take to move forward even more. And I know it's an ever evolving process. And I know at any given moment, something will happen that will send my world shrinking back down to that moment of loss. I'm not in denial about that because I believe you never truly get over losing your child. No matter what age that is, no matter when they go, even if they went in their 50s and you're in your 80s, like you just don't. These are, expectations and belief systems that we have. And with going to school and stuff like that, there is a technique that I've learned within school that I tend to use myself. But even with that said, the belief system is the technique, and I'll explain it in a minute. But even with that said, there's always going to be a moment of time throughout our existence where we will miss that person. And I don't care how much work we do on ourselves, it's just the way it is. We loved them, and we are people. So we will find moments of time. So the technique that has been helping me and will help anybody in any situation is called the ABC model. And basically what it represents is that A is the action that occurred, in this case, my son's death. C is the consequences of his death, the way I've been feeling, what I've been doing, just how life has hit me, how I've accepted life, whatever the consequence is. And a lot of people think that the consequence is based upon the action. But in fact, the consequence is based upon B, which is our belief system about the action. So in the case of my son, my belief system was he shouldn't die before me, that I shouldn't have had to lose him, that he was supposed to bury me or cremate me, which is actually my choice. And that belief system was shaken. And so it makes it much more difficult than the actual action. Because when we don't have a belief system about it, then we can actually in turn change the consequence that we're experiencing. So I've been processing that because in reality, before real modern medicine, child mortality was very high. Think about, what our great relatives went through just in childbirth alone, and whether or not the child or the mother would actually live. And then on top of that, diseases, so many things, fevers, measles, like things that we don't think about today because of our modern medicine. And because of that, especially when it comes to death, we have a belief system regarding what death is and how death should occur, and that is not rational. And so when we can identify that belief system and then identify if that belief system is something that we should hold on to, we can change it. So another example would be a parent that isn't around. The belief system that you may have about it is that they're your parents, so why are they not there? But yet, in the end, our parents are still people too. And people make mistakes, and people do things that are not always in the best interest of the people they love. But yet, if we can identify that belief system and therefore change it, it gets easier to deal with the consequences of the actions that are bothering us. So it's definitely something that in my future practice, which I am going back to school for mental health counseling, specializing in trauma and crisis with children, I want to get them before the addiction starts or the substance abuse starts. Then we can live a healthier, happier life and start to put pieces and plans together that actually make sense and not just think, I got to get over this. Because in the end, I think there's always 1% we never get over it, or at least in those moments.